Hello, students. Hope you are in good health and taking care of yourself. I welcome you again in the new world of virtual learning. Hope you have gone through the previously shared work and understood it too. Today, we are going to do our next chapter from the book Moments. It's really a very beautiful chapter by a very renowned author, Ruskin Bond. This chapter is really enjoyed by pet lovers or admirers especially. So come with me in the world of Toto and his master. So before starting with it, let's know something about author of the chapter. The chapter Adventures of Toto is written by Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond is an Indian author of British descent. He lives with his adopted family in Missouri, India. The Indian Council for Child Education has recognized his role in the growth of children's literature in India. He was awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1992 for Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra, his novel in English. He was awarded the Padam Shri in 1999 and the Padam Bhushan in 2014. Now, let me introduce the chapter The Adventures of Toto to you all. So this is a humorous and adventurous story of a naughty monkey named Toto. The writer's grandfather bought the monkey from a Tonga driver. The pranks played by Toto have been narrated in an interesting way and make the story a must-read for us. It will be really a fun to know about this chapter and about Toto. So central ideas always help us to know about the whole chapter. So what is the theme of the chapter? So I will tell you now this. The theme deals with the experience of having a wild animal as a pet. The narrator's grandfather brought home a monkey called Toto as he felt pity for the monkey. But the monkey created a lot of trouble for its owner and finally he had to get rid of him. But we should respect animals and keep them in comfort. The experience of an animal lover is depicted in this story. Characters always make any chapter or any work of fiction more impressive. So here in this chapter we have two very important characters which are grandfather. Grandfather was a lover of animals. He had put up a zoo in his house where he had a number of animals and reared them with care and affection. He brings home a monkey named Toto. But since the monkey is a wild animal, he would not have a peaceful life. So Toto had to be returned to its previous owner. And the other one is Toto, the monkey itself. Toto was a beautiful little monkey. He was with a Tonga driver. Grandfather took pity on him and brought him home. He created a lot of mischiefs and brought to so much trouble in the house. He tore clothes and disturbed other animals in grandfather's zoo. So the grandfather had to give him back to the Tonga driver again. The minor characters of the chapter are Tonga driver, grandmother, grandson, and other animals. Now we will discuss the chapter Adventures of Toto by Ruskin Bond in detail and going to summarize the chapter, so pay attention. The narrator's grandfather had a private zoo. He bought a baby monkey from a Tonga driver for 5 rupees and added it to the zoo. This new pet was called Toto. He was a pretty monkey with bright and mischievous eyes. He was so naughty that he would frighten people by showing his white teeth. He had dry hands with quick fingers and he would use his tail as his third hand. Toto looked cute, but his presence was kept a secret from the narrator's grandmother because she didn't approve of any new additions to the already existing pets. Consequently, Toto was put in a closet opening into the narrator's bedroom and was tied to a peg fastened into the wall. However, the naughty monkey didn't stay there for long. He tore off the ornamental wallpaper and pulled out the peg. He also tore the narrator's school blazer in shreds. Grandfather was so fond of Toto that instead of being angry, he was pleased with his destruction. He said that Toto was so clever that if he had got more time, he would have tied the torn pieces of the blazer to make a rope and used it to escape from the window. After this, Toto was put in a big cage in the servants' quarters. A tortoise, a pair of rabbits, a tame squirrel, and the narrator's pet goat already lived peacefully over there. But the mischievous monkey troubled these animals at night and didn't let them sleep. So grandfather decided to take him to Saharanpur with him, where he had to go to collect his pension. The narrator couldn't accompany his grandfather on this trip. A big black canvas kit bag was used to carry Toto to Saharanpur from Dehradun. Some straw was put at the bottom of this bag to make it comfortable. The bag was strong enough to prevent Toto from escaping or getting his hands out. So when he tried to come out of the bag, he could only make it roll about on the floor and jump with it into the air. This sight drew the attention of the onlookers at the Dehradun platform. On reaching Saharanpur, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag. And now he grinned widely at the ticket collector when grandfather was producing his ticket. The collector initially got a shock, but after regaining his composure, asked grandfather to pay for the animal. To the annoyance of grandfather, the ticket collector referred to the monkey as a dog. Grandfather made an attempt to convince the collector but had to finally pay 3 rupees as fare for Toto. Irritated, grandfather took out his pet tortoise from his pocket and asked the collector to charge for it as well. Funnily enough, the ticket collector examined the tortoise closely and said that there were no charges to be paid since that pet was not a dog. Finally, Toto was accepted as a pet by the narrator's grandmother, and he was given a comfortable home in the stable. He was to stay there with the family donkey, Nana. However, on the first night of his stay, Toto hung on to the donkey's long ears with his sharp teeth and never ever became friends with him. Toto used to love hot water baths in winters. His bath ritual was a sight. Grandmother would give him a large bowl of warm water and Toto would first test its temperature with his hand. Then he would step into it gradually, one foot after the other. He would sit comfortably with water up to his neck and rub soap all over himself with his hands. When the water would cool down, he would run out quickly and reach the kitchen fire to dry himself. In case anyone laughed at him during this act, he would get hurt and refuse to take a bath. One day, Toto almost boiled himself alive while trying to bathe. He saw a large kitchen kettle left on the fire to boil for tea. He removed the lid and found the water warm enough for a bath. He got in with his head sticking out from the open kettle. A little while later, the water began to boil and Toto raised himself but sat down again since it was cold outside. He hopped up and down many times till grandmother came and took out a half-boiled Toto from the kettle. Toto's monkey business continued and it was decided that he would no longer be kept as a pet. This happened when he was caught stuffing himself with rice left at the table at lunchtime. Grandmother screamed at him when she saw this. Toto threw a plate at her and a glass of water in the face of one of the aunts who tried to shoo him away. On grandfather's arrival, Toto picked up the dish and got out to sit in the branches of the jackfruit tree. He stayed there all afternoon and ate slowly till he finished all the rice. Then, to irritate grandmother, he threw the dish from the tree, thus breaking it into pieces. The middle-class family of the narrator couldn't afford these frequent losses. So grandfather sold him back to the Tonga driver for 3 rupees, thus incurring a loss of 2 rupees. So students, what message do we get from this chapter? So, in the end, I want to tell you that the writer intends to convey the message that baby animals look cute and we are tempted to keep them as pets. However, we shouldn't get carried away by their prettiness because each animal has its own characteristics. Some animals, like monkeys, are very mischievous. They can cause a lot of damage too. So one should not keep animals as pets unless one has adequate information and skill to train and handle them. However, animals thrive better in their natural habitat. So this lesson gives us a message about animal rights and animal welfare. Hope you all will utilize this time of yours in a productive way and understood the chapter.